Hey guys, it's Mallard with another stamp video, and today I'm actually going to take you guys on a journey through my updated stamp collection. If you've been watching my videos recently, you'll know that I actually have acquired a few different older stamp albums. I've took you through those on my album searches and some of my previous videos. If you haven't seen those, check them out. There's some awesome stuff in there. And I've actually taken sections of those albums and I've put them into my stock books. Now, I actually just bought this stock book specifically just for the Australian stamps I have. This one is for more of my smaller collection. This one is for some of the bigger collections. So, let's go ahead and let's get into it. Some of these sections you may have seen before, but I'm just going to go through it again. So this is the smaller stock book. This is the Salvador section. We'll go through really quick. Got some older ones up there. We'll keep going down. So nothing too special, but definitely needed a spot in a stock book. Here's my Bulgaria section. Got some old ones. As we come down. Old ones at the bottom. I'm probably not going to spend too much time on any one section just because we got a few sections to go through. Looks like Ecuador. Go on down. A lot of the time when I find stamps with these overprints in like kind of sets, I know that's not a complete set, I don't think. I usually try to keep them together because who knows, maybe one day they could be worth a little bit more than just a few cents. So this is Toga. Obviously that one got ripped. I still left it in there. But definitely an early one up there. Come on down. This was from my earlier albums that I just went through with you guys. I'm not sure if I showed you the Toga section or not. I definitely showed you guys the Armenia section. Right here. If I can't remember what country it is or I think I might forget, I usually leave a little tab there. Obviously it says Armenia at the bottom, so that wasn't going to be an issue for here. You guys have definitely seen these guys. Temutuva. These can be pretty pricey, I was told. I do not have the higher dollar amounts, but they are sought after because they are not very common. So I'm super excited to pull these out of that one album. Keep rolling here. What do we got? Honduras. Nice sets here. May not be complete, but still really good looking stamps if I'm being honest. Keep moving. Left that one blank. These are my, I believe, North Borneo stamps that I pulled out of my most recent album. I'll go through it. I do love these North Borneo stamps because they have the animals on them that I think is just really, really good looking stamps down there. Up again, Sierra Leone. Some early ones up top. Coming on down. Nothing too special, but still, these came from my most recent album as well. These are some other Sierra Leone stamps that I thought were really, really interesting that I wanted to pull out and just put in here. Especially this one, look at that. 3.5 cents for that big guy. I think we have Tasmania. If you hear some ruckus, that's my dogs wrestling outside. This one was labeled, was it 12 by 12 and a half? So I don't know if that's a variation I should really look into or whatever, but it was labeled like that, so I definitely want to keep it separate. And last but not least, we have Samoa. I love that half-cut one. It would be worth some money if it was on a cover, but unfortunately it's not. It was taken off, but still, really cool thing to have. I know these are also commonly reprinted or forgeries, so who knows? These could be genuine, these could be forgeries. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm just excited to add them to my collection. Western Samoa, all the way down, and then Western Samoa over the New Zealand stamps, the overprints. Alright, so that was my small stock book. Now let's get into the bigger one. We have now moved on to my bigger stock book. In this section, I believe it's Paraguay, as you can see. Moving on down. I love the lion design on these stamps. Moving on down. Yeah, obviously this was not going to fit on one of the smaller stock book pages, so I decided to put it on a bigger stock book page. Once again, I'm not going to spend too much time on one, just because we have a long way to go. What is Bolivia, I believe? Pretty good sets there. A few mint ones up there. As we come down. Yeah, I don't have a ton to say about these stamps, just because I don't know enough about them. I just know there's a good, nice little set or group of them, and I wanted to keep them together and not leave them in a old album. These are my Jordanian stamps. Stamps from Jordan. My guy, I believe, Robert Brown actually sent me a good set of these to get my Jordan stamps going, so thank you, Robert. He's been sending me grab bags. I've been sending him back grab bags for a while now. Yeah. So this is Futurus and Wallace. I believe is what it's called. I probably just messed that up. Let me look at the stamps. Wallace and Fortuna. So this is just a section I found in one of the albums, and I had a few of the stamps set aside because I thought it was a pretty interesting stamp and pretty cool sets. So I kept them aside, especially because I kept finding these overprints on stamps. So I put them on their own stockbook page. You guys can correct me for my pronunciation because I definitely butchered it. Definitely in the comment section, let us know what's going on with this territory or this country. I think it's just a territory. But yeah, pretty cool to get these on one stockbook page. Here we go. South African Company stamps. Rhodesia. Overprint. Keep moving down. Again, found these in my most recent album. Pretty excited. Also found these in my most recent album. Graham Beck did a great video about these stamps. I left a link to that in the last video, so go check that out if you want to. But man, look at all of them. That's not a complete set. I think it's pretty close. Keep going down. Down here, a few extra ones. Super pumped about that section. Didn't have a ton of those, but now I do. And last but not least, we have the Iraq section. I do have some very interesting stamps from Iraq at the bottom here I want to show you guys. Because a lot of the stamps, the overprints are on state service, on state service, on state service. But these down here are the ones that I'm curious about. Of course, I don't know the language. I can't read it. But you can see there's script written here. Written there. There's a date there. We got some script there, script there, script there, script there. So if you know anything about these overprints, let me know. Let us know in the comment section down below. If anyone ever comes across overprints like this, I want to make sure that they can know what they're looking at. So there's this Iraq section. And without further ado, let's get into the Australian stockbook. So in my last video, or maybe 2 videos ago, we came across some stamps from Australia, from Western Australia, from South Australia, from Victoria, huge sections, and so I decided to get their own stockbook. So, of course, I'm going to put all the kangaroos in their own section. We'll come down here. 2 shillings down there, pretty awesome stamp. Flip it over, and then we get to this section. Normally, if I do not have the correct color, like I need violet for I think either 1 or ½ cent, then we leave it there. Keep going. 2 cent. And one of the most common Australian stamps is this one up here. And there is a stamp that has been found that has a single line watermark. It's not a single line watermark like in US stamps, but it's just a single line going across the stamp, which is super rare. And of course, everyone knows about that stamp. And so when people find the 2 pence Australian stamp, they think that they might have the single line watermark when it's just not going to happen. So I see these posted on eBay a lot, and don't worry, you don't have a $1 million stamp. It's probably just worth maybe 25 cents to $1. Hate to burst your bubble, just trying to help. Coming down here. See, colors that I don't have, I like to label. Keep going, 5 pence. 5 pence, color variation there. And then I kind of left a whole section of shillings down here. just in case. I also have a section for pounds on those stamps and some postage dues. All right. So what I did was I basically gave, oh, actually there's a little bit more. This is the overprint section, obviously. Some OS's, 2 pence. So what I did was I gave every single section basically, I think 3 pages. Some super early Western Australia stamps there. This one has an overprint. Yeah, this one had a 12.5 by 12.5 watermark 47. That was just what it was labeled. So again, I'm just going to keep those together just so it's there. Haven't looked to see if that's more viable or not. I'm not too worried about it. Keep moving. I didn't separate. See, you can see these are kind of violet color. I kind of just kept them in there with the same design. I'm sure there is a difference. There you go. So yeah, so this page is pretty bare, but that's okay. We'll flip it, and like I said, I left 2 whole pages to be filled in, because the last thing you want to do when you're doing these organizations is actually give you too little room, and then you have to kind of move everything around in this whole album. So I like to give a ton of room just in case. And here's the South Australia section, which gets pretty hefty. See that one right there? So the stamp right here was listed Perf 10 watermark A5, which might make it more valuable, might make it not. I don't know. There is a mint one over here. It does have a pretty significant crease. Still mint, still beautiful. Some older Southern Australia stamps right here. I didn't necessarily put these in order of year. I just kind of put them with their groups of stamps that look the same. Is basically what I did. For better or for worse, that's what I did. So we'll keep moving. Nice overprint right there. Flip the page. These are getting a little, they're newer. They're not quite as old as those over there. But these over here are. So like I said, I just kind of put these. This is the overprint section. And as you can see, we have a 8 pence and a 10 pence overprinted at the bottom there. So these are older, but they do have overprint, so that's where they're over here. We have these postage down here. 1 shilling all the way to those. 3 pence. Flip the page. And we are to Victoria. Got some super old Victoria stamps. Again, sorry if you hear my dog barking. His name's Kevin, and he is a handful. Keep going. He doesn't listen when I tell him how to do a video. He doesn't care. He's just going to keep barking. Some mint ones right there. Again, these ones up here, pretty old. I did look that one up just because I was curious, and it's not worth that much more, maybe like 25 bucks, but still cool to find. And we'll flip the page. Victoria still. Love this overprint. Or the cancellation, I should say. Keep coming down. Again, love the cancellation. Keep moving. A few more Victoria stamps. Oh, looks like a South Australia stamp snuck in there. I'll have to fix that. There's another South Australia. Well, that's why you go back through this. There's another one. We're in Victoria, not South Australia. 2 1 penny overprints. And now we make it all the way to Queensland. Got some early ones here. That one's definitely damaged. That one looks to be okay. Maybe a few pulled perfs. And we are just going to keep cruising. Running out of memory for my phone as I record this. I think it's 1 more page. It is. And this is all we've got for the last page here on Queensland. All right, well, that is what I have done recently in my stamp collecting. I have accumulated all these stamps, and I've put them in new places in stock books. It is very time consuming, but it is definitely worth it, especially when you can see collections like this really grow. So, as always, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching.